Hi, everyone. We have R.B. Gallup on here today, who's the president of Gallup Design Build, and we talk about all things custom homes. If you've been thinking about getting a custom home, building on your land, this is the podcast for you because he talks about his process, he talks about what got him into it, and all the things you need to look for. Hope you enjoy. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Here for the Health of It. I'm Dr. Randy, here with Dr. Tom, as always.
The guy just rolls right in. Keep going.
Why are you guys looking at me like we haven't started?
I feel like I just finished a sentence and you were like midway.
Yeah, I was just tired of just lollygagging. We have a great guest today. We have R.B. Gallup, who's the president and owner of Gallup Design Build. So
That's
welcome.
Right. Thank you. Glad to be here.
And you told me your tagline, and this is the first time it's launching, is helping the Midland's most successful families turn their dreams into homes.
Boom.
Yeah.
How did it feel hearing it?
Felt pretty good. So we've always used turning dreams into homes, but
Okay.
I wanted to have a way to say in one phrase, something exciting and captures exactly what we do.
Yeah. Okay. If you want a 900 square foot mini home.
If it's a very nice
A
900
really
square
nice
foot, might not be a cost-effective 900 square foot mini home, but sure, let's go for it.
All right.
I lived in 1,100 square feet for my first house. It was awesome. And that was with a little addition. So don't knock it.
I've been there too, definitely. Yeah. Do you think that the idea of a starter home has disappeared?
I think it's a lot more unobtainable. It's harder these days. It's definitely more expensive, and the interest rates. I don't think it's disappeared, though. I don't think it's disappeared.
Well, I mean more from the perspective of people don't go into 600 square foot homes anymore.
Right.
Like when my parents got their first home, it was 600 square feet. My first home was 800 square feet for years. But I think there's 22-year-olds that think they should move into a 2,000 square foot house.
Yeah, I think the most important thing, whatever buying level you're doing, if you're buying a house or building a house, is location. They say it all the time, but I would rather have that 1,100 square foot home in Rosewood. That's exactly what it was when I was in my 20s. It was so much fun. My wife and I loved it. Versus maybe for that same money, you can buy a large production box home, same cost, more square footage, but you got to buy the location for investment and honestly enjoyment. It was awesome living downtown when you're young,
Just walk home from the bars every
we did
Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
We weren't that wild. This was 24 on. So there was a little bit of that, but a lot of golf cart action. We'd drive down to 5 Points on the golf cart.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Still can get a DUI with that, too.
Good to know. And luckily, it never happened.
Nice.
So.
And a bicycle, I've heard.
Yeah, any vehicle.
Even if it has no motor?
I think so.
What about running?
No.
You're running a little too fast.
Actually, you get public and talk. Yeah, I bet you could get something, right?
You might deserve one. But.
All right. Well, I'm curious about your process. Walk us through person wants to build a house and what that looks like reaching out to you guys and kind of what you take them through.
Yeah. So what we're known for is we are a residential design build firm. So we'll take them from nothing through plan design. And we do that using 3D development and Revit models now.
Nice.
And show people a model of what your house is actually going to look like on your lot. And that's number one for us. We design 90% of our houses, probably more. We'll build your plans if you have them already, but we can connect it to the build and then also the price of the build. So imagine if you went to purchase a nice car and they said, okay, well, just let's draw it together and decide whatever we want it to look like.
Yeah.
And then put whatever you'd like in that. Don't worry about our spec sheet. Go from whatever you want. And then they ask you at the end, okay, now what's that going to cost? And you haven't even done that work to begin with.
Right.
So that's the hardest thing about designing a custom home. Architects, plan designers, they're not tied into the current cost, and it can fluctuate, within a year. So that's a very helpful thing we do is try to connect it, and it avoids a lot of rework and revisions. And we do it as we go, and then we layer in interior design, selections. So by the time you get a contract, that's like we're ready to build. We have 90% of the interior design selections, everything locked in. And so many people have this fear. They think, I need to have 10% reserve to build a custom home. And so whatever you're working towards that contract, they think we need to pile on another 10% there. Well, that could be the case in the extreme scenario that you're just not telling us all this stuff you're going to add. But we're doing that legwork on the front end. So I think that's a little unique to us. We'll take time to do that on the front. And the allowances we go for, y'all probably heard allowances, and people concerned they might not be the right amount for what they want. Those are usually within, I would guess, 5% or so on some of these builds. So the degree of unknown is much smaller.
Yeah.
Welcome to Columbia Family Chiropractic, voted Columbia's best chiropractic clinic. With 3 easy-to-get-to locations, you'll be sure to have something near you. We provide drug-free and surgery-free healthcare and take care of a wide variety of injuries. We offer several services from corrective chiropractic care, on-site digital x-rays, spinal decompression for bulging or herniated discs, dry needling and cupping for injuries, pediatric care, non-surgical knee therapy, and a Class 4 laser. And for those focused on wellness, we have a red light therapy bed. We accept all your major insurances. If you click on this ad, you'll get a discount on your first appointment. You can check out our website at cfc4health.com, or you can Google Columbia Family Chiropractic. That's CFC4FOR health.com.
So that's a little bit of a rambling response, but
no, that's great. Well, because it's one of those things that I always think about. Should the person, like, what if they don't even have the land yet? Is that still like get you guys involved and say, all right, I want, this is my dream, and I know I want to live in Columbia. What would that be? Even a person that would start a process with you and be like, I don't know, it's going to be 4 years, or the land has to come available. You guys might help with, like, if this is the budget, you might be like, well, that's a Blythewood because there's a lot more land and we can do this, or could be a Lake Murray lot. Like, how does that, would that be something that you would?
I'd say, usually they come to us knowing where they want to live. They're friends, or they want to be on the lake, or they're downtown Columbia. So they have some idea.
Like a lot in mind.
Yes. Okay. And I love, that's about 25% of the time when I meet someone, we're looking at a lot they want to purchase.
Gotcha.
And I think that's great because I can talk numbers with them. I can say, we don't know what your house is going to cost because we haven't designed it yet, but that house you like or similar program, same square footage and finishes, was 1.6 million plus the lot. You can kind of go in and figure out, okay, does this make sense? I've even put it together where you compare that to resale. And lots are expensive now. Like custom home lots are not cheap. And custom building is never cheap, but it's always a little more of a premium. But when you combine them in certain areas, you're usually, even on like extravagant builds, you're usually ahead of resales.
When you there's already an established, okay, nice.
Yeah, when you look at price per square foot, especially we do a lot on the Lake Murray, and price per square foot there has been so good to people that you have to have the initial investment.
Right.
But once you buy that expensive lot and build the appropriate house for it, you've usually got instant equity in it.
That's kind of nice. Yeah, that's good to think.
So I always think whenever I get quoted a project, it's going to take 50% longer and 50% more money.
Right.
You're saying 5% each way.
I mean, again, it depends on the client. We've had some really terrific clients just last year. There were 2 that come to mind that had more change orders than I've ever seen, but they were all owner things. I want to add this cold plunge. I want to add a spiral staircase here. I'd like to switch the curved one we had to curved with glass, and we're happy to estimate those and serve you. But then we have people, bread and butter that, don't have any change orders or hardly any. They may add, we want to add a generator, or we want to add something small along the way. So the difference there is an investment on the front end. So pre-construction time, connecting to that, also paying for it, from plan design to interior design, and then speccing it out, doing all the estimates. We do that pretty efficiently. We'll take someone from no plans to contract within 3 to 4 months on average.
Really?
Our average is 3 months. So
Nice.
pretty tight. We're dedicated to working about one design start a month. So that's kind of how we have a whole team focused on that project. And it keeps the client engaged, but they're paying for that, but they're also getting it connected. So if you get a free quote, it's worth just that. We don't do any, hey, call over the phone. Hey, what's your price for this? I mean, that's an extreme. No one would call and ask for a custom home price.
Randy would, but he's Canadian,
No, I
so
wouldn't.
you kind of roll with that.
Our biggest success stories are when we help them design the house to fit the budget range
Yeah.
they want. It's tough sometimes when people already have the plans and they don't have any concept of cost.
Right.
It's hard to walk back a dream.
For sure. And I think a lot of people that haven't built a house before don't know anything about the process.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me, what does a 100 square foot house look like versus $200 a square foot versus 400, it's hard for me to picture the difference. But you would walk somebody through that, it sounds like, and say, at 200 square feet, this is $200 a square foot, this is what it looks like, versus 400, this is what it would look like.
Yeah, we can talk comps and show, go check out this house we're building. We'll
Yeah.
actually take you to it, or show you something on our website finished with our plans so they get an idea and talk. That's kind of how we get started. Like, all right, are we in the ballpark here before we decide what kind of fireplace you want? Do you want 2x6 walls everywhere, spray foam versus bad insulation? Yeah, everything. Like when
Holy
you ask
cow.
what the difference is, someone asked me this the other day. It's everything.
Yeah,
Quite literally. I mean, it could be the nails we use are different than production builder nails. That sounds insane.
I love
but it's
that.
everything.
Does. Different color,
Just extra special.
a little longer.
We put our initials on
And
it.
they're blessed. They bring it to the Pope.
That may be an extreme, but let's say the type of sheathing. You go outside the house and you see house wrap that you can see through. You can, it's translucent.
right.
Versus a green zip board that's taped. It's real tight. That's a big indicator of framing material cost right there.
Because translucent won't do anything.
Well, I don't want to see through a weather barrier, do you?
No. Well, I'm from
It's like
Canada.
a poncho kind of deal.
That's in Canada, they're so extreme with things that when I came here, I was like, are you allowed to use that?
Some of the things that are being built.
They do.
What? So, all right, if somebody were to skimp, like, in your opinion, where should they? Like,
what do they call
what
this?
part of the job?
Save
He
and
did not
splurge.
want this question.
I would
he
say
didn't.
save and splurge is another way to say that. I think.
Okay, yeah.
Skimp. I don't know. That sounds really bad. Save. Well, let's start with what you shouldn't save on.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So exterior, your
Get it
windows,
dialed.
your design, just getting, no matter how much you put on a house, if you don't have a cool exterior design,
The Three Little Pigs taught us that, right?
Yeah.
You got to have a
Good foundation.
I don't know about that. I mean, but sure. Yeah. But I'll take it back to start with the design. If it's not unique and captivating and doesn't
Right.
look cool,
Right.
I mean, that's really hard to change later. You can paint my Rosewood
Right.
home I told you about. We painted it. We were able to get it to look a little different.
Sure.
Still looked like a 1960 bungalow. So it's really hard to change like roof lines, definition, and then the materials and the windows and all the stuff that you can't see.
Yeah.
So that's one to not skip.
Okay. Exterior, I like that. So windows, like choosing brick for siding, wood, all of that stuff you'd want to, that would be kind of like your starting point on like, all right, here's where we want to spend money. Like splurge, if you will. Or
I'd say I kind of call it the shell,
Yeah.
everything. And we don't really vary on what we do with the shell.
Yeah.
The design will dictate, okay, we're going to use stone, we're going to use bricks, stucco, whatever the house calls for. But we're not wavering from type of frame and material, insulation minimums. And then you can get into, insulation we talked about. I have spray foam in my home and we do a decent amount of that. And I did a high-end energy efficient HVAC system. and it has been so nice, especially with really cold weather. You barely notice it's on. And so I just learned that where in this climate, it doesn't get pushed a lot to go with the higher SEER HVAC. And I even thought, did I waste money on this? Because the power bill doesn't necessarily go down a ton because your house is still tight.
Right.
It's just the HVAC is going to run continuously at low speeds versus on and off.
Yeah.
And I'm going to try to tell everyone I can about doing that now because, like I said, to not ever notice it is a nice thing.
That is nice. All right.
What does the SEER go up to now?
What did you say?
I think you could. The SEER rating is like the efficiency.
You can't use those words without. We need to know.
SEER.
Don't ask me what that means on the spot. I know it means it's more efficient the higher the SEER.
All right.
But I heard that they just got rid of. You're not allowed to sell 16 anymore, or they're progressively making it more efficient.
Right. There's a new refrigerant type, so we had to go from R15 to R14B or something. There's some kind of and so it's a different rating, but it's more efficient.
I see.
So I think in my house I want to say it's a 17 to a 18. So it's not crazy. And I think we see 21, but variable speed is what makes it really comfortable. Because it can ramp up and down.
Nice.
But yeah.
All right. What else you think? Like, so electrical, I feel like it's got to be dialed.
Yeah.
HVAC's got to be dialed. So I guess it more comes down to like finished materials is probably where people would.
Yeah, I would say everyone like light fixtures really do make a house, and plumbing fixtures do. They're the jewelry on the house, but they're easily swapped. So maybe not put your end light fixture in every room. You can. There's always Mother's Day or Father's Day, whatever. If you really want a light fixture, Randy, you can get that for Father's Day.
Yep.
So that's kind of my go-to.
Every year, Father's Day wants a new one.
And I still have the same old light in my bedroom.
Stuff that's really planted and kind of key to the home, like cabinetry.
Yeah,
it's a splurge.
Yeah,
and we spend a lot on cabinetry on our houses, and it really adds to the design.
How long should cabinets last? My wife was asking me, like, good high-end cabinets, are you still getting wear and tear stuff after 5 years, 10 years, or what's the...
I would say it depends on your family, number one. How's your family treating the cabinets, and do you have dogs? But yeah, you should it should last as long as the style, I think.
Oh, nice.
So I think no cabinetry is going to, we whenever we do a remodeling project, the cabinets all come out.
Gone.
And it doesn't matter if it's from the early 2000s or the 60s or whenever it is. And a lot of times those older houses have been updated a couple times already. So I think you want them to last a quality cabinet. I would say, definitely 5 years, probably more than that. Ideally the lifetime, and you should be able to touch them up. So there's different finishes.
Yeah.
There's like lacquer finish. There's stained white oak and walnut, and those do a lot better with wear because it's just got that clear coat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When you were talking, so like on the design exterior side of things, do you guys show a 3D rendering so that people can see like, oh, this is what the finished product will look like?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool.
We do it now. We have 2 plan designers in-house, and we hired Keaton Sharp last year, and he's been incredible. And he brought his Revit talents to us. So Revit is a 3D design program. And now we're producing the initial elevations in 3D.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so early on, we'll even throw some textures in there and show you a rendering. A little dangerous because if you're not dialed on their color preferences,
right,
you show them a white house and they want a black house, or something like that. But it's really cool, and we found it gets people excited about the design a lot sooner than just looking at a 2D piece of paper. Being able to spin it on the lot and make tweaks and changes.
Can you fly into it, like walk in the door?
We'll do selective like rooms, kitchens, great rooms, areas that are high impact, and then we'll break down all the other spaces with like a 3D cabinetry design.
Yeah.
So selectively, I'm sure eventually we'll be there where you're walking through the house.
That's sweet.
But it's just the 3D on the outside, and then the selective has been just a huge add for sure.
Is with AI, is that speeding things up, or is he still like a guy clicking buttons and having to?
So it's pretty cool. You can tell an AI rendering. A lot of designers use them for presentations.
Yeah.
And they'll throw a PDF of some plans, and you can do this. You could try it with any plans and throw it into GPT, and it'll throw out a rendering. And they have other tools. There's like Arca Synth. There's all kinds of actual tools that will do that. But what's weird about that is it'll sometimes hallucinate and recreate elements of the plans.
Yeah.
So it'll throw some grids on your windows you don't have, or change pitches of roofs, like stuff where you've probably seen it where there's a disclaimer. It's like, this is just a rendering. It's not going to be your house.
Right.
So what we've done now is we'll take it from Revit, the actual model, and then he has a AI plugin that helps with that.
Gotcha.
And it's applying textures to the actual model. It's not changing anything, which is, so now we'll stand behind it and say, yeah, no, that is your house.
Is that the standard now? Because I remember back in the day, I used to watch a ton of HGTV, and I loved the ones that you could, like, what is her name? The Chip and Joanna.
Yeah.
Like, theirs were just awesome to watch because you could see what they did is they took like the 3 locations that they were going to remodel, and then they kind of showed what they would do to it before, and then the buyer would buy, and then it would turn into, and I was thinking like that technology back then felt like tough and expensive.
Yeah.
Now, is that like the standard where people, even if they're doing a remodel or anything, is that the thing?
I think at some level it should be. You need to have a 3D representation of these high impact areas. And it's helpful when you can not two-step it. So we've done this, I mean, until we were able to really run with 3D, we would do our plan design, then we'd outsource our renderings.
Yeah. So like a guy that could draw them.
Absolutely.
Yes.
A lot of back and forth there.
Yep.
And really tricky if you just want to change one little thing or redo it, and then you're back to square one.
Yes.
So I couldn't imagine the stuff you saw on that show, what was it, 10 years ago? Or
Yeah.
I'm like, God, that was hours of work.
Right.
So those little, they would put
like
it
a cartoon, kind of like,
yeah, hours of work, days. And then they made it seem like it happened in a couple weeks, you know, like, here you go.
Yeah. Like she goes home and like an hour later, she's like, oh, I got all 3 designs here and here you go. You know what else I started thinking though is like, I thought maybe post-production, like once she like had it done, then they had a person go in and like mimic it. Cause they always did look so like perfect to what they laid out. Yeah. I was like, somebody's probably just overlapping that afterwards and getting it.
You heard it here first. I think you're onto something. Yeah. I've never even thought of that.
Really? I'll ask
one of those
ask a good thinkers. Conspiracy theorist about HGTV.
All right, tell me this. So intake, is there an intake form? Somebody wants to work with you. You guys said that you would want, like you start with the design side of it. Do they fill out a form? And then are there like, I imagine at this point for luxury, you guys have people that you're like, all right, this is probably, we're not the right fit based on your budget.
Yeah. And it's tricky because it kind of has 2 extremes. To some degree, not everyone needs a custom home and is in the price range, but a lot of people also see the $3 to $5 million houses that we do, 2 or 3 times a year. And then we're also, what they're not necessarily understanding is we build a ton of homes in the $1 million to $1.3 million range.
Yeah.
That's 50% of our business.
So that's kind of that range. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's an incredible amount of money still these days. But that buyer used to be 700,000. And then before that, it's crept up as we went. So basically we have an initial form on our website trying to kind of target where's your lot? What do you want to do? All the basics. There's some budget ranges in there. And if you don't see them on there, then you're probably not in the budget range we build in. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just at the services we offer, it doesn't make sense for us to build smaller homes because you're going to get more value elsewhere. If you're looking at an 1,800 square foot home, you're probably got some different priorities. We have built some smaller homes who clients said, I don't care. I want the quality We did one in downtown Newberry for a lovely old lady, a senior, should not have said old lady probably, but an older woman. And I said, hey, yeah, we can do this. It's not really going to be the most cost-effective thing, but it's going to be well-built, and we had a great time. So we go through that, and then I'll typically meet with them if they're interested in learning about the process. I kind of take them through just our process and where we would go from square one to all the way to finish and warranty and beyond, and go over the fees for design and construction services. And usually we get started after that if they're interested.
Has anybody, so I imagine like there's the fee for the design, right? Mm-hmm. Has anybody after that been like, hey, I'm going with another builder?
So not often that, which is awesome, because I think the unique thing about us is our team. Mm-hmm. We have a team of professionals. It's not just me. I'm leading the team, but I have 15 people that work with me.
Oh, nice.
Do everything from the project management through the design and everything in between. So often,
as far as do people leave you after
sorry,
the design?
No, that went down a rabbit hole. They kind of got lost. Yeah. No, people don't often do that. They might end up moving or not building the house. We've had some people who have designed it, spec'd it perfect, and along the way, it's kind of grown.
Yeah.
And they said, we're going to build this next year, and so we'll revisit it.
And then they can just kind of hold on to that and push it out.
Yeah. So where I was going with the team, where I got distracted, is if they've experienced a good process with our team, they're usually interested in working with us and proceeding.
I like that. Yeah.
That's the goal. And if we do the plans, I think we build every house we design unless there's some reason they've moved or they're not going to build it.
So kind of thinking about your team, contractors have different stereotypes, right?
Sure.
Is there certain stereotypes that are surprising to you these days? And when we were building out this place, I always had people saying, oh, the roofers are going to come with jacked up trucks. And they're going to say, oh, the electricians are going to come in and they're going to seem like they're a little stoned, but this is how they just always act. And I'm curious if it's like, all right, I have to email the electricians, but I have to do phone calls with the roofers, and I have to remind the concrete guys 19 times.
Man, this could really get me in trouble. But I'd say, there's some stereotypes that are funny and can be true a little bit. Electricians don't like to clean. They don't like it. And their definition of clean might be a little different than another trade stream.
They can't even make that big of a mess either, though, right?
So no, just like it's the little things too.
Yeah.
Though, I'm kind of a stickler for clean, and I've heard the saying the other day. It's like you don't rise to mediocre standards, and job site cleanliness is so bad. It's if you allow a level of dirtiness to happen, it'll just spread.
Spirals, yeah.
So we're really tough on it and protecting our finishes and whatnot.
That.
But the little clippings, they love they'll
the
clean
little
like
wire
the bulk
thing,
things, but they'll leave the little clippings. And it's not all of them. We have some great electricians that work with us. None of those guys I mentioned, of course. So.
Yep. Nice. All right. What else? What do I need to know about concrete guys?
Concrete guys. There's a lot. I would say, let's just look at concrete and masonry in general. That their price sheet is like a CVS receipt. It is just a million items.
Really?
And there's always something extra that the builder, homeowners don't see this, but on the estimating side, always something we didn't have right or didn't have in there.
Right.
But you would be amazed. It's like a spreadsheet with, I think, like 2 or 3 tabs of just prices for everything. And sometimes you'll get a new one. So.
And shouldn't it just be X dollars per square foot?
The price, it's just, let's take brick, for example. When we do brick, and sometimes we show this level to the clients, there's brick per square foot. It's kind of how we'll do it is turnkey in this brick range with this type of mortar. And if you pick another brick or mortar, it could be more expensive or less expensive.
Yeah.
So that's the base. Then you have your lintels and your openings, so all the things that go with that. You have your corners, your inside corners, your details. You name it. And there's herringbone pattern for pavers. all kinds of little details as an adder on the sheet. So you start with the square footage, and then there's an adder cleaning, brick cleaning. You got to have that. Oh, well, we'd like a little straw spread out in front of it. That's an extra. So, yeah, it's everything.
Nuts.
Wow.
Is there a favorite foundation you have? Like, are you
I love basement foundations.
You like a basement?
I love it.
Is that now? Do you like that
Walkout basements.
walkouts? Yeah, because that's what we have at my house, and I love that piece of it. The only thing I was thinking though is if I want to do an add-on, what do you like? Do you have to dig out to get to make them match floor wise?
Not necessarily, no. And we've done a decent amount of additions in the past on walkout basement homes. And you just build the crawl space up if you don't want another basement to that level.
Gotcha.
And so you can do a main level addition. You could do a basement addition too. That would be a lot more
expensive.
Yes.
You're cutting through the old foundation and all that. Yeah.
Basements are cost prohibitive too. To do them right, you need poured walls, waterproofing. There's several things like if someone asked us, would you do a basement this way?
Yeah.
No, there's a standard.
What's your go-to for like poured concrete?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Poured walls with a substantial footing. Everything we do is engineered, so an engineer stamped off on it.
Yep.
I love a 10-foot tall basement.
Yeah.
I used to
Mine's
do
9 and I'm pissed.
So 9 is great. We used to be 9 all day, and that was kind of a premium.
Yeah.
Because 8 feet was the standard for basements.
Yeah.
And so I used to work with my dad growing up, and he would sell everyone on how great the 9-foot basement was. And now it's the 10-foot.
It's the 10 for golf simulators, right?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. And you can put some beams in main areas.
Yeah.
Give it that feel that you really should not know you're in a walkout basement on one of our homes. It should just feel like you're on a level of a house.
Yep. I like that. How about geographically? Do you guys just build in the Midlands? Would you take a project out of state? What's kind of your build radius?
Right now, it's just the Midlands. We're looking, I'd say real hard, but it's a future plan to grow to Greenville. I think Greenville is, that's kind of breaking news here, but
On Columbia's hottest.
on
Smart.
Columbia's hottest podcast. Where else would you do it?
That's right.
So they have a good spec home market, so some good communities, and we'll build a couple luxury spec homes right now just on the lake.
Yeah.
So those are spec homes. Kind of gets an evil name because people associate it with tract homes.
Right.
But it just means that I'm building a home in speculation to sell it. So I buy the land, I'll finance the house,
Sure.
and then we go to sell it. And it's been a lot of fun doing that on the lake, and we've had good success with it. So they have some communities in Greenville that would lend itself to that. And I think that's cool. We could do it kind of backwards from how we did it here. We came up from just reputation and all custom building and then started doing some specs. There you could kind of go and put some specs, walk people through it who are interested in building, and then sell customs from the spec homes. So that's probably a 2-year kind of trajectory for us.
Yeah.
I love this market, and I want to soak up more from it and what we can do.
Yeah.
But if we were to grow, Greenville's kind of appealing. I like the
That'd be a
mountains.
spot. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Are you guys, like, what volume of houses do you guys take on at a time, or any given amount of projects that's like your standard?
Sure. So ideally, we're starting one custom home design a month, and we are starting one construction of one custom home build a month, and we're finishing a house a month. So it's kind of like, if you think of it as that pipeline, if you will, production line. So we'll take on usually between 10 and 12 houses a year.
Nice.
12 is the sweet spot. But if there's several that are 3 million or above, those require a lot of attention and a lot of on-site supervision. I think the key metric for us is how many projects a project manager is managing. So we have 4 project managers and a director of construction.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have people who manage one project at a time, and we only go up to about 3. So that is in contrast to what you usually see.
Right.
You see, I call them drive-by management.
Yeah.
Literally driving by the job site, sticking their phone out the window, taking a couple pictures. Yeah, I mean, we want our people to slow down and dig into the details and they're on our job sites every day. So it's slow is smooth and smooth is fast. It works out for us.
Nice. So, because I was wondering about that, just on the project management side, are they like? Do you like when guys like me are out there with like a protractor and ruler and like being like, "Hey, this doesn't look 90 degrees."
Well, I don't think it ever gets to that, but I would say we have the gamut. You know, we have people who are in Virginia having their house built down here, and we have people who are across the street who can see the house. I have two
just
homeowners
watching.
like they know what's going on either way. We provide daily updates from our project managers, so they're getting pictures and descriptions of what's happening, and whether they're here or not.
Yeah.
And then they can also see our schedule to the day. It's fully transparent.
Nice.
And it scares a lot of builders to decide, hey, we're going to show them the schedule. You have to make it really accurate.
Right.
You have to put the focus on that. But we get no calls about, hey, when's the framer coming? When's the painter? They know what's going on.
That's super nice. Because we have a house being built in our neighborhood, and it just feels like it's stalled for, like, nothing's happened in a month, which feels abnormal.
That I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like it never works out perfect where it's one a month.
Right.
But I like to keep them staggered because your framers can move from one to the next. You don't ever want them to be clumped up. We've had that before.
Where they're too on.
And it just stresses everybody out. If you're finishing multiple houses at the same time, or really what was bad for us was we were framing like 4 at one time. That was pretty rough on everybody. So
because then you would put a week out. You would be like, the framers are going to come in 2 weeks.
Well, we have one cabinetry company we work with,
Right.
And so how are we going to have all of our cabinetry installed in the same window without stressing everybody out? And you just roll up your sleeves and dig through it and try to. Eventually, something will break. There'll be a weather delay, or there'll be the size of one home will slow it down. So it's not that they stay perfectly staggered, but you got to run when you got the opportunity to.
How often are you thinking about building like another house for you?
Oh.
Or like, and I guess I should ask this. I imagine you probably built the house you live in.
Yeah.
Correct?
We moved in. It's actually the first time I ever built
really?
a house we've lived in. We remodeled 2 houses, that one in Rosewood and then one in Chapin in COVID. And so this is the first one we've ever built for ourselves, and it was awesome. It was very distracting for me, though. Oh my gosh, I did manage it and do some things that I wouldn't usually do on all of our houses, and I devoted some of my time to it. And I learned from that. If I did it again, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah,
because businesses. If you take your eyes off of one thing to work on another, that can suffer.
Oh yeah, always.
Are you guys content with it? Like, is there anything when you're living in your house you're like, I wish we would have done this or changed this? Or
so I was talking about this today. Our houses that we design and build, everyone likes to throw around the term forever homes. Mm-hmm. And I think that's cool if that happens. This house could certainly be a forever home. We've put some things in it that would help aging in place.
Yeah.
And I did that really for the market if we go to resell it. But we put an elevator shaft in, and it's 3 closets on the 3 different floors.
Sweet.
But you can remove the floor and install an elevator. Cost me nothing to do, really.
So it's just there if you want to add it. Oh, nice.
And I think of it as I've had a buyer objection of, well, this only has 1 bedroom on the main level, and they're retirees.
Right.
Well, we have you covered with a little elevator.
Yeah.
So, but we haven't found too many things. It's been a lot of fun. We have 2 young kids, 4 and 16 months. So 4-year-old and 16 months has kept us pretty busy. So it's not like we've had much time to really say what would we change. But you learn something with every house. And I think I look at it as not a forever home, but it's a chapter home. This is a house for this chapter of our life.
Yes.
And so I'm thinking, well, the next one, I love cars. And one thing that I think would be really cool to do, and I think it's going to be popular, is what they call a studio garage.
Yeah.
So I have a great garage, epoxy floor, workshop, everything. But having another garage that's maybe like 2 to 3 bays.
Just have your like Cars just
yes,
yeah,
You
with like
just
glass and everything.
epoxy the floor still, make it nice, make it a little extra deep. So with the depth, you can put some rugs down, HVAC in there, make it like an office hangout space with your cars you collect or work on. And so I think that would be something I'd like to do for someone. And I could also see, okay, the next house or adding a garage to this house.
Yeah, that's sweet. What do you guys do additions still, or are you guys just straight new builds?
Mostly new builds. Okay. We kind of have it. If you are a good fit for a larger project, we'll take on selective remodeling projects. We don't really advertise or promote that.
Right.
We haven't really done it in the past.
Yeah.
I think the business is heading that way with a number of things. You could say interest rates, but let's just say availability.
Right.
In our neck of the woods on the lake, a ton of homes that are really nice and expensive. They're just old, outdated. So it's kind of hard to ignore. That'd be like y'all ignoring a market that you could easily tap into.
Right. Yeah. Do you have any advice for people that are looking to do additions? Like, where do you start? In other words, like, my wife will walk through our kitchen daily and say, like, man, I wish we could move this wall or add this here. Maybe we throw in a half bath, or let's expand out over this direction. And I'm like, and I can start to like visualize and see that, but I'm like, do I get graph paper, or who's my first person that I'm just like, let's just talk about what's possible? Because some of the things that people think up are like, if it is possible, is it worth the amount of money to do that?
Yeah, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes, to like change these couple things.
Right.
I always was told, like, if you can get a bathroom in there, add another bedroom, or any sort of square footage, those are always going to be great investments for bang for your buck. So like adding square footage makes sense. When you're changing a space, you need to really look at it like, is this just for us? And like know that you're not going to get the investment back necessarily. Like, we made our backyard unbelievable, which I love, like, and probably not to the point where it may return on the investment that we put into it, just on how nice it is. But I like love it. I still take pictures of my backyard just because I'm like, wow, this is really nice.
That's awesome.
But I think of that, like, she wants to change the floors and the layout of the kitchen, and I start thinking like, all right, functionally, I like an idea of like, nobody really has a spot for entertaining. Like, we could make some things there, so I would want it to change there. There could be like a scullery type of thing, get rid of the dining room that we don't use. But who do you go to that would go like, this is load bearing, or this is, and then what sort of price point would that be? Would it be a draftsman? Would it be an architect if you're still in like the thinking phase?
Yeah. Well, ideally, in the same scenario, you would work with someone who can do both and tell you, okay, the cost, we're doing one now where it's a feasibility study where we're basically going to spend time giving rough estimates for different areas, and then we're going to do the plan design.
See, that's called a feasibility. See, I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, it might not be. It's something we do. And
you just made up that word?
No, it's an architect word. We kind of took that from the architect community. But the idea that you want to know what it costs, what makes sense, I do too.
Yeah.
Let's find out together, here's the man hours required, and then let's go work towards that target. I think in remodeling, that's the only way I would want to start.
Right.
Unless you just said there is absolutely no budget, it doesn't matter, let's just do what we want.
Right.
No one's like that. Everyone wants to know, where are we going to land?
Yeah, because that's what we don't know what to like dream up budget-wise. Because like Megan's like, so what would be our budget? And I'm like, I don't even know, like, where do you start? Mm-hmm. Like, if, for example, if we're going to change the floors only, and then a year later you want to change the kitchen, it's like, well, I'd rather do those together, or frame up this, and like, while the people are here, let's do it together, because you're saving, a ton of things, and I'd rather save for whatever that bigger chaos is, and move the family and do it all at once versus some. And I know some people like to do small projects all the time. I'm more like, let's do something big, get it done quick, and then come back in and be done with what we like.
I'm right there with you.
So is it just like a few $100 to get that, like, a feasibility?
Well, it depends on what it is and what's involved.
Sure.
If it's a whole home remodel and we're going to spend 3 days on it and we're going to do breakdowns per area, and we're going to estimate everything from the pre-construction services. So what will you actually pay after that for plan design, for estimates? I mean, that can be anywhere from, for like a new home, if it's relatively simple. New homes are easy for us because we can just pull from the inventory. We've done as little as $800.
Yep.
And we've got some that are very complex and $6,000.
Yeah.
And what we do, I'm kind of telling what we do. It could be different everywhere. Is we'll credit that towards the pre-construction services because we've already done some work.
Sure.
It won't go towards the plan design because that's an actual, you would pay anyone to do that work, but towards the estimating, the specs, all that stuff. So I think it's a approachable way.
I like that.
We're not just trying to get a design deposit and hope you call us.
Well, and some of the confusion that I always think about is like, where is the sewer? What does the HOA say? Like, what are who all looks at? We have a pond and things, so I'm like, all right, if we were to build something down there, you have to, I imagine, like figure out the water line and like, can you even dig and build something there? So like a lot of the dreams are like, it doesn't even make sense necessarily on some of that.
You kind of need a guide, in my opinion, to help say, okay, well, let's get a survey and let's identify all that stuff you mentioned and what's the correct order to do it. So someone who has a clean process can walk you through it, a written process, and here's how we go from A to B. That would be the first step.
Awesome. Yeah, I like that. Nice.
So I love the idea of the unique things that are in houses that are custom made versus track homes.
Sure.
And I don't really know what they are. I'm like, Tom's kind of into that world.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked at it, but I'm interested in it. And sometimes there's even conversations about things that I have no clue what they're talking about. So I'm curious if you
what
could.
do you want to know?
Yeah. So some things like, let's say you walk into a house and there's a certain type of flooring or a certain type of baseboard.
Sure.
And I don't know the difference between them, but I feel like lots of people do.
Sure. Well, I think it's the little details like that you mentioned. Maybe it's the window type, the SDL pattern. Maybe it's a horizontal modern pattern versus a 16 light colonial, which again, I can tell maybe.
In the window?
Yeah.
Are we still talking about windows?
Yeah, I love windows. All right. So, but we're talking about details like that and the baseboard and the casing around those windows and the little subtle nuances. Those do add to a custom home. And it's not like someone walks in and goes, I love that Metro line casing you have there. That's really, sometimes you'll get that. But they're standing back and they're seeing the big picture. And it's like the details are the brush marks of a painting. You know, it's like, how is that adding to the overall character of the room? And getting those little details to align and knowing that, okay, that's a 4-piece colonial base, or colonial crown molding. I don't think we want to go with a flat 1x8 baseboard because that doesn't match.
Right.
So getting those all to be harmonious with each other is kind of the challenge. And I think that's where the interior design really comes in and dialing that all together.
Yep. And then front door seems like another big thing. Size of your front door matters.
Yeah. Well, it's not the size, but maybe
It's how you use it.
how it swings or something like that. But the way, a front door can make a statement. Absolutely. We're putting an iron metal work one in a spec home we're doing right now. And it's pretty cool. It's like, that's the first thing you're going to see. And I put a lot into the exterior details. The brick, we have some curved brick arches. We've got a half round metal door, gas lanterns. So that matters, especially in a home you're going to sell for curb appeal. And it's, again, some of those things are hard to change later for sure.
So like, the ones that you see where it's 20 feet high and
pivot
20
doors.
feet wide. Is that a big thing now still, or was that a phase?
It's got to fit the house. Though.
Yeah, so we haven't seen that hard line modern. We've done 2 modern homes I can think of that are more straight line, boxes with still low profile, not flat roofs. And that's a cool house. It just, you don't see that. What we're seeing a lot of is what we call transitional. So it's a modern flair to maybe a traditional or European styled home. That's really cool. It's what you've seen in Raleigh and Charlotte. And I think we're at Gallup Design Build bringing that look to our market. I love it. The modern's cool, and we'll do it.
I'm into modern.
It just sticks out, which is the good thing about it. But it's very expensive too. I'll tell you that. Those pivot doors, they call them pivot doors because they have a hinge that's not on the edge. It's about a third in, so the whole door pivots.
I see.
And requires it to be set in the concrete. Special installers. Everything on a modern home that makes it look simple and clean and straight makes it very expensive too. It makes it prone to failure. So I'm not saying you're going to have water intrusion or stuff like that, but you have to take measures that cost more money not to.
Right. Like a whole glass house.
Oh yeah. Let's do it.
It sounds awesome to me, but it's very Canadian, I think, because in Canada, it felt normal that everything was just glass, sleek, and just cut edges, 90-degree edges everywhere. And then I came here and everything is the opposite of that. But it seems like it's transitioning a little bit as the Northerners have all been moving here in the last 6 years. Or is that not the case?
I think, I think the modern style I think people are into putting a modern touch on things.
Flair.
I don't think we would compete with, let's see, like a Colorado or Utah. They kind of have that mountain modern vibes. I have some builder buddies there, and they do incredible work. But even there, they have their rustic touches where it's, they've got some beautiful wood and stone, like full bed stone.
Yep.
And a lot of people realize that those houses are expensive, and they go, "Oh, it's because it's Utah. It's expensive because it's Colorado or whatever."
Yeah.
Sometimes some of the cost is just expensive because it's expensive to build
Materials
that way.
and stuff, yeah.
So that's how do you get the bang for the buck here?
I always wondered that, like, are there a lot of luxury crews that are around the Midlands? Or do you guys have, I mean, I imagine you, of course, now have your go-to, like, these are my people for these things, but, like, to install that door that you guys were just talking about, like,
that's a short phone book.
Yeah.
For sure. And there's the guys who are doing the production building are not the same guys doing custom construction. 100% not. But usually that's a specialist. Usually where you buy a door like that, they either know or they have an installer, and you want that as a builder even. Because it's like,
you got to get it
there
right.
adjusting on this thing, I've done 2 times or 1 time, so probably not.
Have you done any of those barn dominiums or any like cool? You ever watch the show Fantasy Factory with Rob Dyrdek?
Yeah.
I always wanted to build like that. Well, I still do.
So very scaled down version is my studio garage idea. I think having a place to hang out in, but that is cool. I mean,
like I've thought
a foam pit and all that stuff. Yeah.
I thought I was on a little streak of like, all right, looking for land that's like even 20, like I don't even care where it is, but I want to get there quick. So like something off of a highway that could be just highway driving for 20 minutes and then just like a barn that I could just escape to. Because where my neighborhood is, I couldn't put that.
Is this a private barn or you allow others to use it?
I think I'd do both. Like I feel like it'd be cool Airbnb in the middle of nowhere for like a guy's golf trip. Like now that all these nice courses are popping up, like it could be a cool thing for that. But yeah, just to have like a workshop, have like just a basketball court in like any golf simulator, all of that stuff in one thing. And then the building side of it's like you just need a pole barn. Like I can't be that much to just do a cement slab, whatever the metal materials are, and then insulate that.
Sure.
I think that.
My buddy Drew Stevens, he was telling me about it, and I don't think this is a secret idea, but
Drew Stevens, the Northwestern Mutual.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah, you know him.
He's who set my wife and I up.
How about that? He's awesome. So he's my guy,
great.
and he's doing our company stuff, and he's just been a friend too.
Yeah,
so he has the idea. We both like cars, and I kind of share some of that. And he had the idea of bringing up. They called it the Charleston Toy Garage.
Yeah.
And so you have these big metal buildings, but do them kind of nice.
Yes.
In the inside, they're like condos. You sell to people or you lease them. You probably lease them. And then you keep your 911 in there with your motorbike and your like up top. You got a little like sports area. And
be
Like,
sick.
that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
So good idea then. All right. Well, he's like, we should make that happen.
Put me in on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You can tell you guys have 2 little kids that are just like, I need a spot right now.
Just to get out of there. Do you have any favorite builds that you've done to date? Like anything that comes to mind where you're like, that's my top right now?
Truthfully, my house.
Really?
I love it. It's a
Nice.
reflection of who we are. There's been more impressive, more
Yeah.
expensive, more luxurious, all those things. But it's really a reflection of who we are. And I built it as a model too.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in building a house and we have a consultation, I might follow up and say, hey, you want to go take a look at my house? It's
Yeah.
right here, 5 minutes from the office.
That's awesome.
And it's the style I love. It's that modern mixed with kind of an organic, natural vibe to it. I
Yeah.
like the mountains.
What
So
kind of colors did you go with?
very, so the outside is called Black Fox.
Dark.
So it's dark siding
Nice.
with a light brick called neutral ground. No, shoji white. So it's like a tan with a dark, and it's got some light stone. The
Feels
stone is my
Japanese.
favorite part. Yeah, it sounds Japanese, but it's not. But so that's been a lot of fun just to do it. And but I love all the client homes have been great. And what's nice is when you have the relationship, like we had that snow recently, and I had a lot of people texting me pictures of their house, and I was like, that's really cool, them enjoying it. But it's kind of, I love them all, and I also know what we could have done better on each one. So
Yeah.
it's like constantly, I want every house to be a little bit better than that last one.
Yeah. Do you guys, I guess to that, do you guys have a list like Randy's mentioning when it comes to designing something, not even being aware of what are options?
Yeah.
Unlike,
We came up, twofold. We have early on, we do this thing called preliminary pricing. So we'll get the plans 80% done, and then we're going to put together a really detailed 13, 18 page.
Yeah.
It's going to look like contract pricing, but these are estimates from us before you made any selections.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a gauge of where it can go up or down. And one thing, when we do that, we'll throw out something called, I think we call it like the Lux Features Guide. And it's just everything from porch heaters, shower, steam, or steam
cold
units,
plunge, all
cold
this stuff.
plunge.
Yeah.
Anything you could think of, all the way down to like small details, like integrated outlets into your countertops that are real flush and nice. So all kinds of stuff like that. Then we came
That's
up.
what you need.
You could go forever.
Yeah.
That list sounds
it's
overwhelming in every way.
Alex in my office put it together, and it's really a beautiful PDF, and it's like tabbable. It's awesome. It's like
that's
a
sweet.
book. And then at the end, Ned in my office came up with this "What am I forgetting?" list. And so he sends them. Yeah, Ned is a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, you need a Ned in your
Don't
life.
you feel like you'd be in good
I
hands
trust
with Ned?
right when you said his name. I trust him.
Yeah.
like I just
Is that his
I don't
full
know
name?
any Neds.
Well, it's Ed. I don't know if I guess it's Edward Purcell. I don't know how
Okay.
much
He goes
he
by
wants
And it goes
Ned
by
to
Ned.
share his full name, but
Yeah.
I've done it today. So
there it is. I
haven't
hopefully
heard
it's
of
not in the
Ed's.
witness protection.
Ed.
You heard of
Or Neds.
Edwards going by Ned?
I didn't know how you get to the Ned phase.
I've never thought of
Yeah,
that before.
but I like
either.
it.
Yeah, Ned is good.
He has a what you forget list.
Yeah,
or
what am I forgetting?
Yeah.
And it just like all these things that it's a crazy spot because I could tell you all these things and we'll load this up, but we also might forget to tell you.
Right.
And then we're not trying to sell you on adding porch
Right.
heaters or tile. This is your house, whatever you want. So here's the list. And
It's good to know about that. Yeah. We even just like, I like what you were saying with the elevator shaft, like even thinking where it's like, I don't need that now, but I love the idea of my house having that. Or even some of the things like addition wise, I think I always am big on outlets, making sure you have an insane amount of outlets because they're just such a pain in the ass to like put
now,
it.
so the code nowadays on its own is really robust.
Yeah.
So you have to have a lot of outlets. In most cases, they're 6 foot apart or less, and that's a lot to begin with.
Right.
And then we go through that and really try to refine it in the plan design stage. Floor outlets are the trickiest and a pain. You know, you
Floor,
can't add that later.
Yep.
And I didn't add a floor outlet in my house, and that's probably the one thing I would do again.
Yep.
I just was like, I don't want to deal with it.
I met with one of my like 70+ year old patients who's built every house he's lived in. And that was like, he's like, all right, you're going to want to plan these floor outlets. Like, it's one of those things.
He's
He
right.
gave me a list.
He's right.
of
Because when
things.
my baby knocks over my
Yes.
laptop cord that's like
Yes.
maxing out, you know.
Yep. But you are committed. Like, once you put it in the floor, there's got to be a piece of furniture, desk, or something that's like hiding it a bit.
That's one of my only regrets, I would say. In the
Yes,
house.
we
There's
found it.
little
That's what I
tweaks
was
you could have.
searching for from you.
Yeah, and then I did a bifold door. I'll tell you another one. I did
Yeah.
a bifold door, and so it folds up against the wall. Really cool.
Yep.
Fun to open. But I did a 12-foot porch, which I love. I think it's a good size. It's long, so it's plenty of space. But when you have the thing fold and go into the deck, that's really should be a 16-foot porch because it takes up that walkway space.
yeah.
So I learned next time I wouldn't spend the money on the door. I would do the same size porch, and I would just have a slider that opens all the way.
Gotcha. That's good to know. Are those tough to put in after the fact? Like, if you wanted to do a walkout, like expand a doorway, like on our walkout to our backyard, it's a regular door, and my wife wants to like make it a big where you could open it up.
So this show is just a way for you to interview contractors for your house.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, all right, just making sure. This is good. Yeah, no, I absolutely.
Are they a pain?
I mean, you could, even if it's some degree of you've got to create a temporary wall,
Right.
remove that wall, that whatever that structure is, put in a header, a beam across it. So it could be an LVL or it could even be steel in crazy
Depending
cases.
how big it is.
Yeah. So get an engineer to look at it and go from there. But in the grand scheme of things, nothing's that big of a deal if it's important to you.
Right.
You know, there's some things that don't, like taking the roof off of a house, like removing the structure to add another level.
Yeah.
That I don't think ever makes sense.
Okay.
There's some things where you're like, let's just find another house.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've done stuff like that before where you can go too far where you're not
Your
left-
location would have to just be dynamite where you're just like, I'm not moving out of this spot. I'm raising my roof.
And you got to hope for a
Literally
real clear weather window for that.
All right, I only have a couple more quick questions. What's your sweet spot for square footage? Because like to me, there's a too big.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm like, I'm in 5,000 right now, and I don't go in, I don't know, 25% of my house.
Right. Yeah, and I having a basement home, walkout basement.
Yeah.
We have 2 guest bedrooms and a bathroom, and then I have an office and a rec area. I use my office, and there's a gym too, and I use the gym. But everything else is just for guests.
Yes.
So I'm with you there. I think the sweet spot.
Like when you're building, you're giving somebody advice on design. Is there have you seen like a number?
4,000.
4,000?
4 to 45.
Yeah.
And anything over that is extra.
Yeah.
It's for, hey, we want golf simulator.
Yeah.
We want an awesome man cave rec room. This sounds very man heavy. So other things that women might enjoy as well.
Second kitchen.
Yeah.
Big
We'll do
Scullery.
We do, kitchens with 2 islands and then a scullery in there, and the
And a
scullery can
pantry.
have an island, and the laundry room have an island. Everyone loves islands. If you can put an island in something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big
That's
time.
a move.
That's
Really?
a move.
Where do you like?
Closets? I'm seeing
They love-
islands in on cribs.
Yes, people love closet islands, even when they don't really make
Yeah.
sense. And that's the other thing to try to, like, a laundry room is going crazy these days.
Yes.
And when if you have 4 walls in a room, it doesn't mean you have to wrap cabinetry around all those walls. Same thing with a closet.
Right.
Sometimes it functions better if it's not all maxed out.
Right.
You got some space in there.
Yep.
And I think that's something people, if they see a blank wall with built-ins and cabinets or shelving, they just go immediately to let's max it out.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So I'm curious, just what's your day look like now? And take us back to when you first started the business. Like, were you ever hammer nails building? Or, take us back to all right, I am now opening Gallup Design and then fast forward to today.
So, okay. Well, we'll start there. I grew up working with my parents. And so my mom, my dad had, it was Gallup and Gallup. And before that, it was New Home Specialist, but they kept calling them by their name. So we're gonna go by Gallup and Gallup. So my dad was a plan designer. My mom was an interior designer, and they worked with other builders.
Nice.
They were all about the client experience. Builders were kind of gruff in the 90s, if you will. Just kind of and want to get it done, and the customers are kind of just a nuance or an inconvenience, if you will. So they were there as designers and project managers to really kind of be the middleman, if you will. So not only design the house, but make sure the people are getting what they want, and they're they get a smooth process. And that evolved to them becoming builders. And I started working. I worked in high school, and before that, cleaning up, doing punch list items, shoe molding, decks. My dad paid a framer for me to go spend a little bit of time in the summer one time.
Framing up.
Yeah, but it was more like cleaning up. They were like, I was like,
Here's
am
a
I ever
vacuum.
going to get to use like a saw or a nail gun? And it was just just in the mud, just carrying wood all day. And that was good, So he gave me some good education there. And I became a builder and working with them in 2010. And I was a project manager. So I was like your contact. And I would also do, punch list items. We need to put a piece of trim here or
You'd whack it on there.
whatever. Yeah, I love tools. I love actual building. I like woodworking. That's kind of a passion of mine. So that was a lot of fun. And I spent about 3 years doing that, like learning, really perfecting. I don't want to say perfecting, but learning how to be a project manager and build a house and do it well. And then in year 5 or so, that was kind of like confidence built. And I was able to go out and just sell a house and then do estimates and started just taking on more and more. So I worked with my dad and a business partner. We were Gallup and Lafitte. That was around 2013 to 2021 or so. And under that structure, my dad designed all of our plans. Robert and I, Robert Lafitte, we built houses each. We were the project managers. And then we added assistants and kind of grew it from there. And so we would each... I did more of the sales.
So you've seen it all.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I've done everything in this business except straight designing the plans. I've never used, I've not.
You've dabbled.
With proficiency, used CAD or anything. But I've worked hand in hand with my architects and my plan designers like I still do today. So I redline and I get them started on the vision and concept and doing less and less as we go. So that's been kind of the evolution.
Nice.
And we started Gallup Design Build in 2022. So I bought out my business partner. My dad had retired, and we bought him out, and he passed away shortly after. And then I bought my business partner out kind of on it. I don't know if y'all are familiar with EOS.
Yes.
So I was on an EOS journey.
That's what we do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
we have a coach.
yeah. Yep. So we did
It's
EOS.
so good.
Yep. And that's what led me to buy him out and start Gallup Design Build. So, and now I have a team that does everything. I currently do sales, which is more like a business development. I'm not a
Relationships
salesy guy.
Yeah.
I explain what we do in our process and show you some of our work, whatever you need to decide to hire us or not.
Yeah.
And then I'm the president, and I do the visionary task, the EOS terms, on business planning and goals.
Nice.
And I'm heavy involved in the pre-con as kind of the driver with sales and that too. So
Sweet.
that's my day-to-day now, and I like it. It's awesome. It's
great.
It's fun.
Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm from Columbia, born in Columbia, moved out to Chafin in 96 or so.
6.
There was nothing out there.
See, because my wife knows your wife from Florida, which is wild. Like they went to University of Florida together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met my wife at a South Carolina, Florida game.
Really?
In
football?
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went down there with some friends in 2012, I think it was. I say that I think it was 2012. And we parked at this house. They park cars and houses around the stadium.
Yeah.
And evidently our friends knew each other, but I didn't know that. And so we roll up, and this really nice group of girls invites us to come have some food and tailgate.
Yeah.
I'm like, this place is awesome. This is great.
Buddy.
Then I met my wife there, and I had no idea everyone they were connected.
Yeah.
We hit it off, and she came up here. she was planning to come up here for law school as it was, so worked out really well. And yeah, we've been
So you did
married
long distance for a minute?
for a minute, and then in
Just like poking each other on Facebook, or what was the move?
well, it's funny. I didn't when I went down there. It was still. I mean, things have evolved so quickly. My phone was dead, and it was gone the whole week. So I had a business card because I was working already. Yeah. And my joke was like, well, this is the new iPhone 7. And I was like, just, I wrote my numbers on it like I needed to call people.
That's good.
So I pulled out my laptop. Some friends were driving us back. And I had no phone, so I was like, well, I'm going to look her up I did add her on Facebook first thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I got no phone. I'm going to use my laptop.
And this is the days where you maybe throw a poke out if you...
Probably. Pokes may have been
Which
had.
is so, what? Why the hell do they have
Poking's
poke?
hilarious.
It is hilarious, but why that? You
I
know what I
got
mean?
poked the other day by
Recently?
by someone who I don't think meant to poke me. And
Randy Clark. Did it happen to be Randy Clark?
I didn't even know they still had poking. I thought
Yeah,
that
I
stopped
didn't
in
either, and I was like,
2014.
I might poke somebody today if it's still a
you should just
feature.
start poking.
I don't
like
know where the
crazy.
feature is, but I had it and I was like,
Wow,
okay.
that's great.
So I'm curious about when you first met your wife there, soon to be wife. Were you using pickup lines? This is always interesting to me. Did you just
I don't
kind of
think
ignore her a little bit and then she
He was
liked
just
that?
hammering beers and
You just
went up to her
cracking some
slurring.
jokes.
I don't know exactly what I said. I don't think I'm a pickup line kind of guy. I'm a pretty serious fellow, but I think I can be engaging, and I think that's all I did. But no, there were no jokes, no pickup lines. I think the iPhone thing was about all I had. The little, iPhone 7
Yeah,
remark.
that was your joke. That was the
it.
joke that locked her in.
I said, "You want to build you a house or build a future together, baby?"
Something like that.
What about? I want to ask about your aesthetic too, because you're like,
Wait, is clothing?
well,
Or what?
because here's the thing: the houses, like when I look at the houses that you're building online, I'm like, those are unbelievable, and they look perfect in every way. So then I was like, oh, I wonder what he's going to be like when I meet him. whether you're, because
What kind of shirt he's wearing.
sometimes that'll happen and they got their hair's everywhere and they're like a massive beard, but you've got
All right, so
it looks
tell
like
me more.
looks like you keep everything pretty high and tight.
What's
in
your
the beard.
hygiene regimen?
No,
Do you shower daily?
Yeah, I'm rocking the haircut from probably the 60s. So, I've had the same haircut with small variations for a very long time.
Nice.
I've had a beard for a while, if you want to know that.
that I am interested in that. And so let's say that you're going to look to meet with someone who's going to build a $7 million house versus a 1.4.
Oh.
Are you wearing something different or I better
Maybe a little less clothing for the 7 million.
tank top? Just roll up in a tank,
Just flexing.
2-inch chubby shorts.
No, I think I've been the same very conservative dresser for a long time, and I would say, I have some, I think I want to portray that guy's a professional and he's squared away, approachable and casual. I hope, but yeah, he's not. I don't like hats when they're at job interviews. That's like my big thing.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I had someone come to a job interview with a hat on, and I was like, that was almost a thumbs down. And my
Right
team
away.
kind of convinced me, let's give him his chance. It turned out I was right. So hat on it. I mean, that's old school. So I would say old school.
What about Androids? Like if they have an Android phone,
Oh
zap them right away too.
no, but we do have business phones now because I can't stand the green text. I'm like,
Instead of zapping them, he just buys them an iPhone and tells them
You're
use
going to be
this.
a part of this.
yeah, that actually happens. So because when you get videos from an Android on a group message, it's like it's shot on a flip phone.
Dude, it's
what
bad.
is this?
I know.
And it starts new groups all the time for no reason, I'm finding.
Yeah, so I don't prefer that.
Anything else on his aesthetic that you're wondering about, Randy?
The gray hair is real. I don't use
No,
it.
gray hair. Tell me about chest hair.
Okay, lots of it.
You just go full on? Because I always think about that too, like with the V-neck, if I should have a little more
You
or a
shouldn't
little
be
less.
thinking of all that, I think.
You think it's too much? I got to think more about my windows and gutters, less about my chest
if your
hair.
builder cares about that, maybe.
All right.
Not like that's on your list. Like, let me see your chest hair to see if I want you to build my house.
But the beard thing, I like a kept beard. I don't like a it's
big.
too much. Everyone trying to be like Zach Bryan or Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Let's chill out.
Yeah, that's a good answer. I think that's just what you want. You want your You want your person that you meet with to build your house to be
You don't want them to be
consistent
wild
and
man.
put together.
Yeah.
But but I also don't want them to be in like a 3-piece suit and big chain jeweler like
No.
you know, big diamonds or something.
I find what I like and I wear the heck out of it. So jeans, I've got the same jeans on. I wear the heck out of those. Long sleeve polo shirts. Oh man, I love them. I love a vest. I love a good vest.
A vest.
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting play.
Then a sweater. I got a sweater on today.
Yeah.
That's been a new
Sweaters are
development.
nice.
My wife bought me this one for Christmas.
Nice.
Oh.
I followed it up with like 3 more. And I'm like,
Get me
we're
3 more
sweaters
colors
now.
of that.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You just find what works and just hit the repeat button.
Tell me about the vest. So you just like the arms to be a little loose
You know,
and the
keeps you
chest
light
warm.
and loose, ready for activity.
Yeah. And then keep your core warm.
Yep. And I have heard I forgot where it was, that's a contractor stereotype to have a vest. And a little true, you know, a little true. But I think it's the right type of vest. You know, you don't want something flapping around, somewhat trim, professional looking.
Yeah. Nice.
Is it just brown or black?
Oh, I've got a vest. I've got a blue one today.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
See,
Nice.
matching like a dark blue with a brown is my nightmare.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know where to begin. I don't even know how.
Well,
But it has
I'm
to be
good
the
at
right
works.
kind. Yeah, that's
I'm good at the house thing. And the clothes, my wife would really get a kick out of this. She's like, I have to ask her all the time. I'm like, you know, I give her a little check, like, is this good?
Up, down.
Sometimes like 80% good, usually. Sometimes it's like, no, that does
Change
not.
that. Yeah.
And she thinks, you know, like you said, I always have to have contrasting colors. Like, I don't want to be wearing like all blue or all green or something like that.
Right.
And she tells me that that's sometimes okay. And
It
I'm
works
like, I don't
sometimes,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain to Rand. Like, I get it. It's
You
hard
and
to
your wife's
explain.
conversation is actually how Tom and I's conversation usually
Because
goes.
sometimes it works, but sometimes it doesn't, and he doesn't know what to do with that.
And my wife just says, like, nobody's looking at you anyway. It doesn't matter.
She's probably
Okay.
right there. Yeah.
All right, when I'm 50 or 60, and I feel like I
So
want
in
to be
like
a builder.
5 to 6 years. He's like mid-40s.
All right, that's why I threw 60 in there just in case. I think I want to be a builder at some point.
Okay.
What's the process?
So this is education.
The whole
is what
thing.
this
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing-
Yeah,
okay.
and he's
The
going to
whole
be a
education.
competitor. And
I want.
5,
I just learned.
6
I
to
got all your
14 years.
secrets.
Oh, it's-
No, but don't you have to? I like looked it up once. I was like, because you have to be an apprentice or something for a period of time.
I think it's pretty lax in South Carolina. I think you have to work for someone for 1 to 3 years, something like that. And then they have to write you a letter of recommendation.
And that's it.
And then, well, you take tests and you go from there. So you got to be able to pass that. You have to have some bonds and stuff like that. The bar is pretty low, and I do think that that's a good niche.
Yeah.
You know, I think if everyone's doing one thing, I want to be doing the other.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what we try to do because, yeah, like you said, there's been some stereotypes and some stuff of contractors that's not good, like always late, always over budget.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, pool
unorganized. I hate the idea of being unorganized.
Pool contractors are god awful, and
I know,
maybe you
I
have
know
a
a pretty
few.
good one.
Okay,
so,
good.
But I do know a bad one too. So
Oh yeah, or it's probably the same one that I know. And you have a wood shop
we have a cabinetry shop. So
at your house.
oh no, we do. So we have a cabinetry company that does our
Nice.
our cabinets for our house, our houses, and they do others as well for builders and designers. But I used to do a lot of woodworking.
I'm into that.
I love fine woodworking, and I mean, just hours would just melt away, and you would have made like one joint.
Yes.
Jeez, Louise, am I going to sand something again?
You can't do it with kids.
No,
Like that.
I
That's why
don't.
I'm saying when I'm 50 or 60,
Yeah.
I feel like I want to get back into woodworking.
My hobbies have been consolidated to trying to not get fat, and I like
That gets harder and harder every year.
and you're telling me. So I like to mountain bike. That's a fun way to do that.
Nice.
And then the other stuff is like not a hobby. It's just not getting fat. I do like to run. But aside, I put those woodworking things down for a while. It's like, maybe one day. It's just not high on the priority list.
I know because it does take forever.
And I like cars now too. So I like the idea that if you have a cool car, your son or your daughter, whoever can be engaged with you then, and then you can toss them in the back seat, and you get to hear your little son say, "Punch it, Dad," or he said, "Hit it, Dad," the other day, and I was like, "That's awesome."
That is cool.
So I think it evolves, but the kids do drive a lot. But man, it's been so fun.
Sweet.
I think that's the biggest thing that's changed. Like, I started the business around the same time we had our firstborn, and that change really was a good thing.
Right.
It turned the volume down to everything else.
Yep. Is there two last things? One, what does RB stand for?
Richard Brewster Gallup
Richard
Jr.
Brewster.
Yep, I'm a
The
junior.
second.
The second, and my son is a third. And
Richard Brewster.
he goes by Brew, and so we call him
Chachos,
Brewster.
love that.
We call him Brew, and I'm RB, and my dad was Dick, so we all don't like Richard, I guess.
Yeah.
That's kind
My
of our
dad's
thing.
name's Richard. Yeah.
Did you ever think about going with Dick?
No, absolutely not. No.
That just sounds funny. Never, huh?
No. All right.
And then is there anything you want to highlight? Like, we want to make sure, besides me competing with you when I'm turned 60, I already have all the secrets.
I don't mind. I talked to a bunch of you've had some of our friends on different businesses, but like Matt Pock with
Yes.
Bald Cypress and several designers we work with. And I'm fairly open with, hey, you got a problem or you want to talk about something, because I do think a rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I'm worried about giving away a secret or trying to whatever with this guy, I'm not worrying about trying to push ourselves up. It's like, if you do that, you don't have to worry about everything else.
Yeah.
I love it.
So there's room for you. No
Yeah,
worries.
good. All right.
I love a good dad. Did you get his good dad vote or quote there?
What was it?
Rising tide lifts all ships.
Yeah.
You know what other one I like?
What's that?
A boat in harbor is safe, but that's not what boats were built for.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
Oh,
I got
man.
a bunch of that.
Use
The
that
older
today.
I get, the more I'm
Call
using
one of your
those.
team members and say that to them.
I love the adventurous. I mean, I'd say like adventure and self-reliance is two of our family's core values. And the idea that, that boat is safe, but it ain't going nowhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Love it. All right. Well, how do people reach out to you? Do they want DM you, call you, email you?
Check out Gallup Design Build. We are going to have a Luxe Living Tour. I should mention that.
Yeah, buddy.
The BIA, which is the Home Builders Association, but they call it the Building Industry Association here, is going to do a scattered lot parade of homes in May.
And we can just show up.
Yeah, we're going to have it on the website. It's going to be May 8th, that weekend. That's like a Friday, whatever that weekend is. And then May 15th, I think it is. And we'll have at least 5 builders in it. And
Nice.
houses may be under construction. They may be finished. But we'll have at least one home in it. And
Sweet.
that's the idea that, hey, I want y'all to, we should all promote each other and make sure, because there are a lot of good guys out there. Yeah. And I think I want to be competing against good people.
Right.
I don't want to be competing against Chuck in a truck, who's like,
a truck.
looking like the guy you described earlier, all discombobulated and like,
Love that.
yeah.
All right.
Hopefully no one's name is Chuck.
All right, Chuck.
I do know a Chuck Builder. He's actually very nice.
He's good. Well, thanks for being on the show. That was fun. Awesome.
Yeah.
We're here for the health of it.
For the health of it.
Just a quick note, this podcast is for informational purposes only. We're not meant to replace your doctors, and nothing here should be taken as medical advice. Always check with a qualified professional before making decisions about your health. The views and opinions expressed by our guests or hosts are their own and do not necessarily reflect those of this podcast. Reliance on any information provided is solely at your own risk.